For over 2 millennia, one title commanded absolute reverence across the vast expanse of China. Not merely emperor or king, but something far more profound: Tianzi, the Son of Heaven. This sacred designation transformed mortal rulers into divine intermediaries, bridging the earthly realm with the celestial sphere above. The concept of the Son of Heaven represents one of humanity's most enduring experiments in divine kingship, shaping not just political power, but the very fabric of Chinese civilization. This is the story of how heaven and earth became one through the person of the emperor. The year is 1046 BCE. The Shang dynasty has fallen, and a new power emerges from the Western territories. The Zhou conquerors face a critical challenge: how does one justify overthrowing a divinely appointed ruler? The Zhou dynasty created what we now call the Mandate of Heaven, Tianming. It was revolutionary political theology. They argued that heaven itself had withdrawn support from the corrupt Shang rulers and bestowed it upon the Zhou. The king wasn't just a ruler. He was heaven's chosen son on earth. In Chinese cosmology, the universe operated on principles of harmony and balance. Heaven represented the ultimate source of moral authority, while earth was the realm of human affairs. The Son of Heaven stood at the crucial intersection, responsible for maintaining cosmic order through righteous rule. The character Zhi means son, but also carries connotations of heir and successor. When combined with Tian, heaven, it creates a relationship that is both filial and sacred. The emperor is not just any child of heaven, but the chosen inheritor of celestial authority. The Son of Heaven's divine status required elaborate ritual expression. Every aspect of imperial life became a sacred performance, from the clothes he wore to the buildings he inhabited. Yellow, the color of earth and center in Chinese cosmology, became the exclusive domain of the Son of Heaven. The dragon, a benevolent creature capable of traversing sky and sea, became his symbol, representing the emperor's ability to mediate between heaven and earth. The Forbidden City itself is a three-dimensional mandala of imperial power. Every measurement, every color, every directional orientation reinforces the emperor's cosmic role. The throne sits at the center of the known world, directly beneath heaven's gaze. The ritual of kowtow, literally knocking the head, demonstrated the vast gulf between the divine emperor and his mortal subjects. This wasn't merely political submission. It was acknowledgement of the emperor's sacred nature. But divine privilege came with cosmic responsibility. The Son of Heaven bore the weight of natural disasters, failed harvests, and social upheaval. If the kingdom suffered, it reflected the emperor's failure to maintain harmony between heaven and earth. The Mandate of Heaven contained within it the seeds of its own destruction. If heaven could bestow divine authority, it could also withdraw it. Rebellion against a corrupt emperor became not just political resistance but cosmic necessity. The concept of Tianming created a paradox. The emperor's power was absolute because it was divine, but it was also conditional upon virtuous rule. This gave Chinese political thought a revolutionary dimension that persisted for millennia. The dynastic cycle became the heartbeat of Chinese history. New dynasties rose by claiming heaven's mandate, ruled with divine authority, then eventually fell when their virtue deteriorated and heaven withdrew its support. From the Han dynasty's 4th-century reign to the Tang Golden Age, from the Ming's maritime expeditions to the Qing's expansion into Central Asia, each dynasty justified its rule through the same sacred principle: the emperor as Son of Heaven. The 19th century brought unprecedented challenges to the Son of Heaven's divine authority. Western powers, armed with industrial technology and different concepts of sovereignty, forced their way into the Middle Kingdom. The Opium Wars and subsequent unequal treaties created a crisis of legitimacy. How could the Son of Heaven, supposedly blessed by heaven itself, be defeated by barbarian foreigners? It shattered the cosmological foundations of imperial rule. The Boxer Rebellion of 1900 represented a last desperate attempt to restore cosmic order through traditional means. Its failure accelerated the imperial system's collapse. In 1912, the last Son of Heaven abdicated. 6-year-old Puyi signed away a title that had defined Chinese civilization for over 2 millennia. The mandate of heaven had finally been withdrawn. Though the imperial system ended, the psychological and cultural patterns established by the Son of Heaven concept continue to influence Chinese political culture. You can trace clear continuities from imperial China to modern Chinese governance. The expectation of strong, centralized leadership, the emphasis on moral authority, the belief that good government flows from virtuous leadership, these ideas have ancient roots. Modern Chinese leaders, while rejecting imperial titles, still perform many functions once associated with the Son of Heaven, maintaining domestic harmony, managing relations with the outside world, and bearing responsibility for the nation's prosperity. In popular culture, the Son of Heaven concept persists in literature, film, and television. The idea of righteous authority, moral leadership, and the connection between virtue and power remains deeply embedded in Chinese consciousness. The Son of Heaven's influence extended far beyond China's borders. Korean kings, Japanese emperors, and Vietnamese rulers all adapted similar concepts of divine kingship, creating a shared East Asian political vocabulary. The Son of Heaven concept was never purely Chinese. It became a template for legitimacy across East Asia, influencing how societies understood the relationship between political power and moral authority. The Son of Heaven represented one of humanity's most ambitious attempts to create perfect government, rule by divine mandate, exercised through moral authority. While the imperial system has passed into history, its central insight remains relevant. True power flows not from force alone, but from the perceived righteousness of those who wield it. In these ancient halls, where the Son of Heaven once ruled, tourists from around the world now walk freely. The divine emperor is gone, but the human search for just and legitimate authority continues. The conversation between heaven and earth, mediated through fallible human institutions, remains as relevant today as it was 3,000 years ago.
Thanks for watching.